Good evening, everyone. Finally doing a game review. Well, to be honest, more of a first impressions, cause the game I'm reviewing today is Super Mario Eclipse. Looks like we don't have to wait for the new 3D Mario on the Switch 2 to be announced, cause we already have this ROM hack that came out, I believe, late last year. I played on version 1.0.4, and there's currently 1.0.5, I believe. There are some very minor bug issues. Luckily, nothing I ran into, but also some. So you can either have Eclipse lighting or the regular sunshine vanilla lighting. But when you try to switch between the two, it didn't really do much of a difference. But with this new update, they actually fixed that. Where if you want original sunshine lighting, well, you kind of have to see what I mean. But that's another fix. But apart from that, like this guy, like from the Eclipse team, I don't know the individual's name. I was following them on Discord, but they didn't shut down their Discord page, but they kind of left it to run on its own, I guess unmonitored, because they wanted to move on to bigger and better things, which is fine. That the game's completed. You can play start to finish, which what I just did. Like I just defeated Bowser in Corona Mountain. It was a fun experience from start to finish. And in this game, so the big highlights are there are 120 new shine sprites, which is why this ramble is gonna be more of a first impressions, because as of this recording, I only have 129 shine sprites. There are 3 playable characters. Quick spoilers. I'm gonna spoil things. If you want, like, you can stop the video right here and go check out the game, because you're gonna have fun, especially if you're a 3D Mario fan, and especially if you ever enjoyed Super Mario Sunshine, the original version, on whether it's GameCube or the 3D anniversary version on the Switch. You're gonna have a good time with this, trust me. The 3 new playable characters, well, there's a total of 3 playable characters. Obviously we have Mario, Plantissimo, the guy that you occasionally race. He's kind of like the Super Mario 64 version of the Koopa Speedster. But so with Plantissimo, he runs a lot faster than Mario, and he has a double jump. But the only thing is he can't use the flood jetpack or the nozzle or any of the nozzles. But when you press the right trigger to shoot the nozzle, he'll throw like a water bottle. So he does have like some kind of water mechanic, but it's not as efficient or well as a full nozzle. And I unlocked him like pretty late into the game. You have to beat him on all the stages, including the new ones, to unlock him. So that's why it took me a while to get him. But he's a fun character to be honest, I still default to Mario. And the other guy that you unlock is Luigi, which I just barely unlocked right after the Bowser fight. 1 second. So yeah, Luigi. So I've only had a chance to use him like for the first 2 minutes because I wanted to make this video. From what I saw, he has a higher vertical jump, and just like in normal, like most Super Mario Brothers games, he'll have like the flutter jump where he'll float for a few seconds, and he always has like a higher jump. I didn't notice him like running slow or anything like that, but I tried doing the helicopter float. The helicopter, yeah, float down from Mario 64 DS, but he doesn't have that. But his inclusion is fucking awesome. Thank you to Eclipse team. I'm sure I'm gonna try him out. And with Luigi, he does have the flood pack, the full utilization. As far as I can tell, the only difference is Luigi's jump. He has more of a higher jump. I haven't really tested how any of others' mobility. And speaking of mobility, in this game you can kind of do, you can do long jumps. Well, in this game you can kind of like crouch yourself, but you can still run while you're crouching. So it's really convenient. So it adds a lot of movement options but like to enhance the gameplay, as well as a fire butt ground pound. I don't remember if it was in Mario Sunshine, the vanilla version, where like you have to get a high enough altitude, and then as you're ground pounding, you'll slowly start to like, your ass cheeks will turn red, and then like you slam down. And this is usually utilized for like triggers, in order to activate stuff or get shine sprites, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that extra mobility came quite in handy a few times during the 3D platforming type of obstacles. Improved game engine. Yeah. To be honest, I don't remember. This Mario Sunshine came out in 2002. That's over 23 years ago. I barely remember what I had to eat yesterday, so it's a pretty game and it runs smoothly. I played on a Dolphin emulator on my AYN Odin 2. That's also connected to my 4K Elgato that I got recently. That's connected to my computer for gameplay recording and shit like that. No noticeable lag or input lag, but I'm not a very technical person or nitpicky. If I get used to things pretty quickly when it comes to like the feel of the game and shit. So you might want to ask somebody else. As for the new and mixed boss fights, yeah, there was there you fight like a, I don't know, it's like a dark version of a shine sprite, and in one of the 5 new levels. And also Pity Piranha, like his attack pattern is changed up a bit, which is pretty cool. Original soundtrack, yeah, from what I noticed, obviously from the new levels. And then I have not 100% of the game, so like I said, this is more of a first impression, because I did beat Corona Mountain and I do have 129 shine sprites, so this is an in-between of a first impressions to a game review, I guess you could say. Yeah, but again, if you've beaten Mario Sunshine, you're gonna love this game. So going off, the main thing are the new levels that were included. You can go through and beat all the originals. Pinata Village, the hotel, the Boo Hotel, Rico Harbor, the amusement park, the Pinata Village. They're all there, and they're all playable with all the characters. And another thing is, before I get into the individual new levels, blue coins. So it's not blue coins. There's a butt ton more, but they're not a hassle to get. These, you exchange them for shine sprites, and that's where I'm sure like a good chunk of the shine sprite count comes from. But there's still a good amount of non-blue coin shine sprites that are added into the game. So from what I've played, so the 5 new areas include Ercho Rock, which is based on top of a volcano, like a small village on the hillside of a volcano. It's a lively village and a lot of verticality used to traverse the area. There's a variety of shine sprites. There's the typical fighting the 8 red coins, chasing Shadow Mario. At one point the volcano explodes and you have to rescue everybody, like 8 villagers from pools of lava before they burn down to ash. So that one is actually pretty creative. I'm surprised. Like I said, all these areas, if they look like they should have been implemented in the base game. Next up is Lighthouse Island. I think this was one of the first ones I interacted with. One of the newer levels. So basically, it's a small sunnyside island with a bunch of like water. No, I wouldn't say water sports. So, say for example, like one of the levels, you do another blooper race. Actually, 2 of the levels. It was the last one, and then the second shine sprite where you do something similar to a blooper race. And in the middle is like a towering lighthouse. Another tropical theme that Nintendo didn't touch that would have been easily implemented. I know I keep repeating that, but the creativity is fucking amazing. So in that lighthouse, the first level you fight is a Shine Sprite gone rogue, where he's like that blue hollow color. Actually, not even. I think he's like a pinkish purple, and he has like spikes, and he's like spinning around, squirting out goo, and like trying to like ground pound you. It took me a few times to actually beat him. And then next up is Warship Island. So you're off of a shore in the middle of a shore after like the aftermath of a battle that you weren't there to see. It's not like depressing or anything like that. It's just like apparently like the home base won because all of their ships are intact. Well, most of them. You can jump off the coast, and you get some of your missions from this one of like these marine pinatas off of the coast. He's just a lazy motherfucker. He keeps just your Shine Sprites are basically doing his duties as a marine, like collecting all the cannonballs that were misfired, or what was another one, cleaning up something, I forgot what it was. And then but there's also like the typical collect the red coins. And then something I forgot to mention, there's also like those 3D platforming levels, the one where your jetpack gets taken away. And this is where the new movement mechanics are heavily used. Like it would have been a lot more difficult to complete these levels, and these are a lot more harder than the base level ones will give you. So without these new movement mechanics, you could still complete it. It just would have been a lot harder, and you need a lot more timing. And something kind of going off topic, something about the movement mechanics is I forgot how like snappy the controls are in Mario Sunshine, and compared to the fluidity of like Mario Odyssey. Like you barely touch the joystick and like you flick forward, but that's sort of natural because you need to be able to differentiate between like running, stopping, or like there are times where like I was trying to just move back and jump, but he did like a somersault. But that's not because of the game or the mechanics or like input lag. It's just that's just how the base Mario Sunshine game is. But it also could be user error, as in like I suck. But next up is Hotel Lacrima. And then like I was talking to my cousin when he was over watching me play for a bit. After I was like, Lacrima, what the fuck is that? And he's like, oh, maybe it's like another word for lagrima, which means tear in Spanish. But I'm a fucking retard, because that level is about like piñata mob bosses. And if you say it slowly, lacrima, it's just the word the crime, but like squished together. I'm an idiot for not noticing that. But yeah, see, I got that right. So you're again off a beach shore hotel. But this time it's run by mob bosses. They're all like piñatas with sunglasses and typical mob attire. But the mob thing only lasts like the first two missions. Like you gain their respect by after the first or second shine, where you go into the hotel and jump into a pit and you fight off it's basically like a fighting pit, like a fight club, and you beat that, and then like the next level they're all friendly with you. One of the standout missions is having to deliver pizzas under a certain amount of time. That was pretty cool. Oh, and speaking of this game, it's another kind of small tangent. There's a lot of throwbacks to Mario 64, especially in this level where there's like remember in Mario 64 there was like a butt slide inside of Peach's painting inside of her room. Well, in this, like you jump into an arcade machine and you do like a Rainbow Road butt slide, which is a lot more harder than the original one from Mario 64, Super Mario 64. And I thought you could kind of like cheat where you like jump up, because you're like you start from the top and you slide all the way to the bottom, like different curves and shit like that. I thought you could jump off and kind of like land at the finish line, but you have to go through at least 5 of the checkpoints in order for it to register that you actually did the level, which is pretty cool. And like, damn it, I'm like, why is it not working? Why isn't the shine manifesting, whatever? But and the last one is Piñata Pit. You access this level through the Pinata village. You can't just jump off of the cliff from anywhere, because sometimes you die and then sometimes it takes you to Pinata pit. It's like a lush, and then it's an underground pit with a lush forest, a lot of verticality, and then like some water, like a river bank. So the missions, and the thing is with this specific level, there's no startup screen where it tells you what mission you're on and what to do, whatever. You kind of have to just guess, and this is like the only level that I haven't completed yet, pre Corona Mountain, that you can access, because like I don't know what to do next. There's like this tall yellow dude has no head, arms, or like he's just walking around. I keep trying to kill him, but he's like immune to everything I do to him, and I think if I kill him he'll give me a shine, but who knows. But yeah, those are the 5 pre-Corona Mountain new levels you can access. And I did get to touch Daisy's cruiser with Luigi, and in that level is where you access more levels. And the way you access more levels is you talk to the captain, and he tells you if you collect 120 you'll unlock this stage. If you have 140 shine sprites, so like it's giving you incentive to go back and collect more shine sprites. And the thing is, I've already collected quite a bit, but I think the ones that are remaining are, well, a bunch of blue coin shine sprites, and then the very few from Pinata Pit. But I'm really excited to see where else this game takes me. I'm gonna continue playing it. So like I mentioned repeatedly, this is more of like a first impressions video, because this game has a lot more to offer. And thank you and kudos to the Eclipse team, and you can find them on Discord, but they're not as active as they were like a couple months ago. You can travel from zone to zone, kind of like limited. So like for example, Rico Harbor, like you go off into a distance, and you can, if you see like for example the amusement park, you can swim to it, and then like it will lead you to a divergent path, and then you can choose Corona Mountain, no, I'm sorry, not Corona Mountain, Warship Island, Pinata, Lacrima Hotel, or then the Boo Hotel. And it's pretty convenient. I used it a few times. The movement, the new characters, the new levels, they're fucking awesome. And apparently he's continuing his work, because he just came out with an update that had bug fixes and lighting issue fixes or whatever, which luckily I didn't run into any major bugs, or not even any minor bugs that I realized or that I noticed or whatever. But yeah, this game is you guys should really go check it out. Let me know what you guys think, if you've played it or if you're gonna check it out. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that noti bell. And thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.